Hello everyone. Once again, this is Rudy, and we're going to be doing a video today about certain foods that we can eat and that are very good for you when you're metabolically challenged or having insulin resistant or you're pre-diabetic or you're diabetic. So as you would know, if you've been listening to me for the past couple of videos, I was able to reduce my A1c from 10.2 to 6.4. And I shared in previous videos about some of the methods that I use and some of the things that I do to achieve that outcome. So today I want to share with you some stuff that I eat, and like when I go grocery shopping, what I look for, and so on. So an interesting thing came up was this loaf of bread here. I don't know if you can see it properly, but it's called inked keto, and it is Timberwolf Keto Seeds bread. That is what it says here, and each slice has 4 to 5 calories, 10 grams of fiber, and 1 gram of net carbs. And this is impressive for a loaf of bread. I actually got this from Costco, and here it is again. I've never seen a bread with just 1 gram of net carb. Maybe they are, but I haven't come across any in my area. And I've been looking for a good quality bread because sometimes you want to have a toast and so on, and you don't want to have your regular bread, even though when you follow the techniques that I spoke about before about cooling and reheating and all of that. But sometimes you just want to grab a slice of bread, make a sandwich or something, but you don't want anything that would create a spike in your blood sugar. So I found this one, and what's the other interesting thing about it? There are many other influencers on YouTube and different social media platforms, and they spoke about many other breads like the Royal brand, which I used before, and that is really excellent. And there is a Hero brand. I've never used that, but I've seen what they put out on social media. And there are a couple of other brands that are very good, but I've never seen anybody did a preview or something with this kind of a bread here, the inked keto from Costco. Now, full disclosure, I'm not advertising for any company. I'm not advertising for Costco or anything. I'm just showing you what I bought for myself and use. So this is not an advertisement for any company or anything like that. And I like this bread because, like I said, it does not spike my blood sugar. So today I made a nice pot of soup, and I had a small amount of veggies inside, and it was made with fish. I got some red snapper from the store, fresh. It was fresh. I had them clean it for me and all of that, and I decided I want to make a nice soup with it. And so there's another thing I want to show you, what I add to this soup. Now this here, it's they call it here taro root. In Guyana, where I'm from, it's called Edo or Edos. And so you can use it just like how you would use a potato. You can even have it mashed, boiled. You can have it in your curries, in your stews. Just treat it just how you would use a potato. So instead of a potato, you can use the taro root, which has a lower glycemic index than potato. And so it gives you less of a spike into your blood sugar. So in my soup, I add my taro root, and that gives it a little bit body. and so I had that for lunch. One other thing I want to show you as well, I spoke um, about this in a previous video, and this is like a miracle worker when it comes to controlling your blood sugar, controlling diabetes, insulin resistant, and pre-diabetes and so on. This is the bitter melon, and or you call it Corilla. So you can get this from basically the Asian stores, whether it's the Filipino store, the Indian stores, and so on. They always have that, and this is a tremendous vegetable, and you can you slice it up and you take out the seeds, and you can stir fry it as the most popular way people consume it, by stir frying it. And you can have it with you can add some shrimp to it, you can add chicken, you can, whatever you feel like adding to it, you can add it, or you can just stir fry it just like that, add some onions and your herbs and so on to make it flavorful. And it has a bitter taste, but it's very good for you in terms of controlling your blood sugar. Now, I actually grew up a lot eating this fruit, eating this vegetable. So the leaves, this is a vine, right? And it has leaves, and those leaves, when I was growing up, my grandparents would pick the leaves and dry them, and then they would make a tea. They would brew it and make a tea and give it to you, especially if you you have like rash in your skin, or you have boils or something like that coming out. They would say, your blood is too sweet, and you'd get some Corilla bitters, they call it, made with the leaves. And it actually worked. It worked. I can remember also, you get the leaves and you kind of crush them up and you rub it in your skin, before you take a bath and so on. And those things help for different situations. But I can tell you, all the modern research has shown you how effective this bitter melon is in controlling blood sugar. And it's not expensive. Like I said, you can get it at the grocery stores. In some places, like, about $1 a pound or something like that. Maybe cheaper. In some places, it might be a little more expensive. But you can eat that. The other thing you can do too, what some people does, it's like when they slice it up, thin slices, they would squeeze the juice out of it, and they would drink that juice, and that is a great way also of like getting some of that bitter stuff into your body to control your blood sugar levels. Or you can just cook it just like that and eat it. Some people, it doesn't matter what they cook, they would slice it up, thin slices, and they would put it to steam in their food, and they would eat it like that. And this is shown to really help in controlling your metabolism, and especially controlling glucose in your blood. And so I just basically want to show you this couple of props here today of what I use basically, and what maybe you can try them out. So here's the Edo or the taro root. In some Asian stores, it's much bigger, and in some they have it in these small sizes. You take what you get. So you use it, like I said, you use it like how you would use a potato, and you cook it, and those are safe ways without spiking your blood sugar levels that you can use. So I hope you would try some of these methods out, and share it with your friends. Share the video on YouTube, Rudy at Flex, and on TikTok is Rudy Surendranath. So please like and share this video so we can get this kind of a message out to more and more people, and more people can be metabolically sorry, metabolically healthy. So let's do it, folks. All for now. God bless. Take care.